We want homes. We want homes. We want homes.
We're here from every corner of the state to let people know that housing is a basic human right. We are the Housing Alliance, and we represent a diversity of interests. We are students, cities, counties, housing providers, the faith community, and many, many other partners and allies. And you know why we're here? We're here because we care about our neighbors who are homeless, because we know that housing is the foundation of all our success as communities and as states. And because we believe that Oregon is better than this, we can meet our housing needs.
And I, like the three students that are standing behind me, am a member of the Youth Advisory Board for the American Society for the Care and Protection of Children. This year, the Youth Advisory Board has selected youth homelessness as the focal point for our agenda. Youth homelessness connects to many other issues, one of which is the trafficking of children. According to the National Center for the National Center for the Missing and Exploited Children, 3 out of 4 runaways are contacted within 72 hours by a sexual predator or a trafficker. They need a place to go within those 72 hours, and that's why we need more homeless centers. I spoke to a youth in the foster care system. We'll call her Tracy. And Tracy told me that within hours of running away from one of her homes, a supposed predator had already devised a plan to sell her into prostitution. And luckily, Tracy escaped, but many youth don't. Obviously, the need for affordable housing goes far beyond homeless centers. But the issue is, when we don't have space at these shelters, it's like having a hospital without an emergency room. And so these youth need access to shelters immediately, not just as a safe place to sleep, but as a place to get connected to the resources that they desperately need.
Hello, my name is Claire McLeod, and I go to St. Mary's Academy as well, and I'm here to talk specifically about how homelessness can affect people with disabilities. Having grown up in Portland, I've seen homelessness almost daily, and this exposure has somewhat numbed me to the harsh realities and pains of living on the street. Luckily, this one-sided perception has slowly dissipated as I've seen how my older, developmentally disabled brother's life has turned out. At the age of 2, Connell suffered a brain injury, and now at the age of 24, he continues to live with my family in our home. Connell is on Social Security, and he has a once-weekly job. But the housing options available to him are insufficient and unaffordable. Without the stability, the financial stability that my family offers him, I don't know where he would go. Connell is lucky to have a family like mine that can support him, but not every youth or every disabled or mentally ill youth has that kind of support. I definitely look at homelessness in a different way now that I have seen how my older brother's life has turned out. I can't help but see Connell in the faces of the youth I pass by every day on my way to school, and I can't help but believe that affordable housing is the solution. Thank you.
As a survivor of child abuse, the habit of worrying about money and where I was going to live was a concern. Living in a single-parent household, my mother, my brother, and I had to learn how to live on a tight budget. We started off in a house, then an apartment, and now a townhome. We struggled to get where we're at today because of the high cost of living in our neighborhood. My mom wanted to keep us in the same school district too. I feel that my family is privileged because of the family support and friends that we have, but not all families are financially stable, and I can't imagine how some must feel. Children who have been abused and become homeless increase their likelihood of getting such things as anxiety and depression, and by making housing more affordable, it'll help families affected by child abuse have an easier way to find a safe home.
Childhood is a time of discovery. Discovery of the world, interests, hobbies, and also identity. I look at those socks and I wonder how many of them represent transgendered youth. Children who are exploring their sexuality and identity are at high risk of being kicked out of their homes by families who don't accept them. There's this idea that people become homeless because of choices they've made. But for these kids, that isn't the case. On the other hand, we have the ability to choose to help these kids when they need it the most.
I didn't prepare a story because I have too many stories. I did bring a lot of socks, and I can tell you a story about the socks because I am taking them back to our town because we just opened a warming center, and our homeless families will take those socks. And I hate to tell you this, that sometimes that's the only thing we have to give out. It's socks and a tarp and a tent. I've been doing this for many, many years, and I was just telling them that 5 years ago, there was affordable housing. There was something that we can look forward. We can work with our clients and say, hey, you know what? Let's work together. Let's remove those barriers and let's get you into housing. It could be a month, it could be 2 months, but we can get you there. Now it's different. Now all I give is a tarp and a tent. That's horrible. We're much better than that. That breaks my heart to do that. We're much better than this. So today when we walk in there and you guys talk to your representatives, tell them we shouldn't be passing out tents and tarps. We shouldn't. Shame on us. We can do better than that. So today, please think about the people that are going to wear those socks, because those are people that are homeless. Those are people that need the socks. So yes, I am taking my socks back. Thank you.
I want to draw your attention to our collection here. People from all across Oregon have collected 20,000 pairs of socks, representing 20,000 school-aged children who were homeless last year. Those are children who cannot learn. Their classroom teachers struggle to do right by classrooms that see the turnover of up to 1/3 of the students in a single year. Oregon can and Oregon must do better by our children. We will not reach our education goals until we meet our housing needs. And now that question we've posed, how do we turn socks into homes? Nice little bit of magic, and thank you for all your commitment to bring it this far, and we're going to bring it on home. What does it take to make this beautiful picture a reality? It takes political will, leadership, and commitment. 3 immediate investments in the short term: emergency housing resources and shelter resources.
Who's got the EHA sign? Come on up here.
Then preservation of existing rent-subsidized housing, because we can't fall backwards. And support of homeowners facing foreclosure. And then the really big, game-changing investment in the future of our children and our families. The governor's proposed budget includes a new approach to meeting housing needs across Oregon. $100 million. $100 million into the development of new housing for those living on very low incomes, especially families with children. Can I hear a yay? Your job is to inspire our legislators to act, to share their stories, to share your stories from your communities. Share the power that stable housing has to change lives. And ask your legislators to take action in support of housing opportunity. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Governor Brown's representative, Danielle Ledesma. I'm sorry, Danielle Ledesma. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. On behalf of our governor, Kate Brown, I just want to thank you for being here today. On the steps today, we know how important housing is for our communities, for people in our communities, for families, and for children. And so I can't begin to thank you enough for the work that you're doing, not only the advocacy that you're doing today, but the work that I know that you're doing in your communities throughout Oregon. I want to also encourage all of us to have a great session. We want to roll up our sleeves and get to work. I think now is the time when we can do something big for housing. And so let's let the sky be the limit. Thank you. And let's not, 100 million, we're very supportive of the 100 million.
$100 million. We know, unfortunately, it's just a tiny drip in the bucket of what we need, but it's a huge, huge step forward, bigger than what we've ever had before. So we really need to walk into that building and sell that $100 million to your legislators and representatives. So people have asked, why are we talking about socks? Martha Olmsted spoke really eloquently about that. But the other thing that I like about the idea of having folks buy socks is that it makes us think about the people who are going to wear them. You know, are we thinking about the babies who are in shelter with their moms and dads? Are we thinking about people like the great street roots vendors who have to stand outside all day and might need some heavy, thick wool socks to wear, right? We got a couple boxes going back with you guys. But stopping to think about who's going to wear the socks makes us think about who it is we're talking about. These are our neighbors. These are our children. This is us. We need homes. Homes are what helps Oregon succeed. Homes are what make us succeed. So go in there. Those are your representatives and senators. We're going to have an opportunity at 3 o'clock. We have a hearing in one of the House committees. We need to tell people that this is about homes. This is about Oregon. And we need housing if we're going to be successful. So let's do it. I'm going to make Jess Larson come lead us in a few more chants. And then those of you who brought socks today, who work with folks who need socks, don't leave the Capitol without them. We would prefer to not have to take them all back to our offices in Portland. We intended them to be shared. But let's give one more shout out for Danielle and Governor Brown. What do we need for housing? We need $100 million. It's a little hard to chant, but we need $100 million. We need $100 million. We need $100 million. We need $100 million. We need $100 million because we need homes. What do we need? Homes. When do we need them? Now. What do we need? Homes. When do we need them? Now.